At the end of the day, if you can't remember what you did throughout the day, you might have trouble being present. If you want to give your conversations, your moments, your important life events the attention they deserve without feeling like you'll lose track of everything else, this is the video for you. I'll show you how to be present by doing simple, mindful techniques without making major life changes. Most people rob themselves of special moments because they're worried about what tomorrow or the future is going to bring, or they're harping on the past. After you learn these simple techniques, worry, anxiety, or busyness will not take away your precious time of creating meaningful and happy memories. I thought it was very interesting that according to the Harvard Gazette, 16.1 million Americans reported experiencing major depression, often struggling to function while grappling with darkness and despair. And according to the World Health Organization, 1 in 13 people globally suffer from anxiety. The good news is 18 million U.S. adults use meditation to help them improve their overall health and mental health. They know the importance of staying present or in the now by incorporating mindfulness into their daily routine. How many times has someone told you their name, or you've been in a conversation with somebody and you forgot their name 5 minutes later, or you forgot what you were talking about 10 minutes later? Those are all signs that you're not present. You're not present with yourself and you're not in the now. It is hard to be and stay in the present moment, in the now. I can think of multiple examples of situations that's happened to me. You know, there's been times where I've picked my kids up from school and they're excited to see me at the end of the school day. They get in the car, they start telling me about their day. I'm driving down the road. You know, I'm thinking about that meeting at the office. I'm thinking about my emails. I'm thinking about what I need to do when I get home. I'm thinking about all these things, and like 10 minutes goes by and my kids have told me about all this information and I wasn't present for them. I wasn't there. And then they ask me, "Dad, what do you think about that?" And I'm like, can you repeat that? It's just about taking the time to be present. You know, I've seen so many people when I go out to eat, which is very rarely, because usually we cook our own food, but you go out and you see families together at dinner and half the kids have earphones in and, you know, dad's checking his iPhone, the kids are playing video games, there's an iPad over here for the baby. That's not being present. You know, you have a very limited amount of time to be with yourself, with your family, with your children, with your significant others. It's all about balancing your life. So it's very important to be present in those moments. Those are special moments that are very important for your kids, are very important for your significant other. They want to be heard. They want to feel like they've been heard. And I've made that mistake many times, and I still make that every now and then. And it's something that I've got to work on, and it's something I continue to work on. So be in the moment, be in the present. Have you ever had any of the following happen to you? Like you ask your partner a question and they say, they've already told you the answer. Or you tell a friend a story and they say, "You told me that last week." Or you haven't been able to remember somebody's name within 5 minutes. If you've ever had anybody that you know or yourself that might be suffering from attention deficit disorder, they have a hard time staying in the moment, staying present. I know I suffer from attention deficit disorder, and it's hard for me. It's a constant battle, but you always have to improve. You always have to get better. You always have to recognize these things. Have you ever had increased stress or anxiety? If you ever get easily agitated or you get angry when people ask you things, you know, that can take you out of the presence. That can take you out of the now, take you out of the moment. If you ever have pains, aches, a toxic body, you know, I think about this. What could cause somebody to be out of a moment, out of that presence? And I always think how important health has to do with everything. When your body is clean, your body is able to function, your mind is able to pay more attention. when you're multitasking and you're sick and you're trying to think about that next meal you're going to have, or you're in an area where you're breathing toxic air, drinking toxic water, fluoride, chlorine, bromine, those can cause disruptions in your neurotransmitters in your brain. Trying to do too much at once or trying to think about too much at once is what I've felt has gotten me out of that state of presence or out of that state of in the now. Also, when you have gut issues, a toxic bowel or a toxic gut can lead to many other negative health conditions in the body. If you're thinking about having to go to the bathroom, if you're thinking about the pain in your gut, if you're thinking about your bad breath, if you're thinking about any other health condition, it's going to be hard for you to focus and be present with yourself. Here's some solutions that have helped me in the past. What I like to do is I like to do the research, go out there, find some things that have really helped people, and I like to do the research still for things that can help me. When I'm feeling not present, when I'm feeling not in the mood, I always look at the balance in my life. Like, is my life balanced between my spiritual growth, my personal growth, my business growth, and my relationship growth? And with that comes, how much time am I spending between each one of those 4 pillars of what I consider the 4 pillars of a perfect, balanced, Zen-like, happy-like life? One thing I like to do is meditate. If I know that I'm going to be putting myself in a meeting, or if I'm going to be meeting a friend, or if I'm going to be spending time with my children, or if I'm going to be spending time with my wife, I try to meditate, take some deep breaths, 9 deep breaths, and then just tell myself to focus, to be in the moment, to be present. And when I do, I think about giving that individual full attention, full focus, being present, like I'm in a bubble with this person, and I'm listening and I'm hearing what they have to say. And then I even try to repeat what they said. That's a good trick that you can use. I also took a course called Super Brain with Jim Quick, which I thought was a really good course on how to be present, how to pay attention, how to use techniques so you can remember what people are talking about, remember what their jobs are, remember what their names are, remember their wives, their kids. So if you have a chance, you can view Jim Quick's videos on YouTube. Really good. He'll help you out. Another trick that I know and that I use is when I'm communicating with someone, I look them in the eyes and I truly listen to what they have to say. That's really being present. Focusing your eyes on their eyes and then just focusing your ears on their mouth. So you're just listening to everything that they have to say. And make it a point when you're present or you're in the now, not to be checking your social media. Try not to think about social media, especially at meals. Don't be checking your emails. Turn your phones off during get-togethers, during meetings, during those times where you're communicating with other individuals. Something that's helped me is to do intermittent fasting. When your brain runs on ketones instead of glucose, or if you're on a ketogenic diet, it's amazing how much you can focus, how much more you can focus, and how much more you can learn. And that's been proven in studies. One thing that I've learned is try to be intentional. And what I mean by that is when you're spending time with your friends, or your significant others, or your partners, or your children, or even your pets, try to make sure that you're focused on what you're doing. So if I play a game, a board game with my kids, I'm not thinking about all the other things that are going on with all the other aspects of my life, like work and my other relationships. Whenever I'm playing basketball with them, I'm just focused on playing basketball with them, or cooking together, or anything that allows you to build a great bond with people. But I would say that probably the #1 thing that's helped me the most at being present is going into a meeting or going into an environment where I know I'm going to be with somebody I love or somebody that's a part of my life. And before I do that, telling myself that I'm going to listen, I'm going to focus, and that I'm going to try to summarize that conversation or that experience. It could be just going on a vacation, or it could be spending an hour with somebody for lunch. But really having the intention beforehand, going into that environment, that I'm going to focus on listening and not talking that much. I learned that the best way to communicate is to ask questions. So listen and asking questions helps me, and hopefully that'll help you learn how to stay present. To fully experience the moment, you have to become one with the moment. On to the free giveaway. If you'd like more information on natural ways to help you stay present without losing track of everything else in your life, click the link below and I will send you free information with the tips I use that you can benefit from today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to always know when our latest videos are released. Leave me comments or questions below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, live healthy.